Good evening and thanks for joining us. Since Saturday, when a jury announced it was deadlocked on a first-degree murder charge against Florida software developer Michael Dunn, the question so many have asked is, what happened? Yes, Dunn was convicted of 3 counts of attempted murder for firing at a car with 4 teens inside after an argument over loud music. But on the most serious charge, alleging the murder of 17-year-old Jordan Davis, the jurors could not agree. Tonight, in an ABC News exclusive, we know why. ABC's Byron Pitts has just finished the very first interview with one of those jurors for our series, Crime and Punishment.
Do you think Michael Dunn got away with murder?
At this point, I do, myself personally, yes.
She was juror number 4. Valerie is her first name. Home care nurse administrator, she asked we not give her full name. For the first time tonight, we're hearing what happened inside the deadlocked jury room, where 12 people struggled to decide the fate of admitted killer Michael Dunn.
When you went to the deliberating room, you thought Michael Dunn was guilty?
Yes, sir.
Of killing a 17-year-old boy?
Yes, sir.
What convinced you of that?
To me, it was unnecessary.
You didn't think Michael Dunn had to kill Jordan Davis?
I don't believe so.
Most of the jurors, she told us, agreed with her.
You all first took your first poll on guilt or innocence on the murder of Jordan Davis. What was the vote?
10-2.
10 people thinking he was guilty?
Yes, sir.
And 2 said?
Self-defense.
47-year-old Michael Dunn never denied he shot and killed 17-year-old Jordan Davis. But from the witness stand, he pleaded it was self-defense, reenacting for the jurors those last fateful moments.
And I said, "You're not going to kill me, you son of a bitch," and I shot.
The sounds of gunshots were captured on the store's surveillance camera.
Oh my God, somebody's shooting. Somebody's shooting out of their car.
Dunn eventually pulled away. In town for a wedding, he drove back to his hotel and ordered pizza.
Mr. Dunn, the reason you left the gas station is because you knew you had shot into a car of 4 unarmed teenagers.
That's incorrect.
During his testimony, Dunn says he was sitting in his car, waiting on his fiancée who'd gone inside the store. There were 4 teenagers in an SUV parked next to him, music blaring. He asked them to turn it down.
My eardrums were vibrating. I mean, this was ridiculously loud music.
What did you make of Dunn asking the boys to turn their music down?
Some of jurors said, you know, he even mentioned, I've done it multiple times in my hometown, asked folks to turn down their music, and they did it. And that's where we saw a little bit of the ego.
Initially, the music was turned down and then turned up again. An argument started. Dunn claimed 17-year-old Davis verbally threatened him and was about to get out of the SUV.
I hear, "I should kill that here. I should kill that mother." Now he's screaming.
Dunn insisted he saw what looked like a gun, though police never recovered one in the vehicle or in the area. And the teenagers who survived have always maintained there was no gun.
When he says, "Yeah, I'm going to kill you," I look, and I'm looking at a barrel. He's showing me a gun, and he's threatening me. And after he opened the door, then he looked at me and said, "You're dead."
At that point, what did you believe was about to happen to you?
I thought I was going to be killed.
Valerie says that was a key moment in the trials. Dunn's insistence he believed he was in danger. That and this final directive from the defense attorney.
Check page 25. Start with page 25.
Page 25 reads, the use of deadly force is justifiable if Michael Dunn reasonably believes that the force is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm.
And we took a poll. There were 2 of us undecided, 2 for was justified, and the rest were not justified.
Why were you and the others so convinced that Dunn was guilty?
We all believed that there was another way out, another option.
What about the testimony of his fiancée, Rhonda Rohr, about what he thought about the music they were playing?
That was a big deal for me because he testified he wouldn't say or use the words thug, but he said he would use the words rap crap. However, in his interview, he did say thug a few times.
Dunn's fiancée, Rhonda Rohr, was grilled by the prosecution.
And what did the defendant say?
Oh, I hate that thug music.
Did the defendant ever tell you that he saw the boys with a firearm?
No.
Did he ever tell you that he saw the boys with a weapon?
No.
The jurors deliberated for nearly 30 hours.
There were reports that there was yelling heard coming from the deliberation room. What was that about? You did some of the yelling.
Yes. At one point, we were all trying to get our point across.
Screaming?
Oh, yes, sir.
Profanity?
Oh, yes, sir.
People were passionate about their position.
Oh, yes, sir.
What started out on day one as a 10-2 vote in favor of convicting Michael Dunn of murdering Jordan Davis ended 9-3. It had to be unanimous, a mistrial on that count. The jury did find Dunn guilty of attempted murder for shooting at the other teenagers in the car.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of attempted second-degree murder.
How could you all convict Michael Dunn of attempting to kill the other teenagers in the car, but not convict him of killing the 17-year-old?
And that is pretty much my sole purpose for being here, because reading the social media and people looking at us like we didn't do a justice or a service. We had a lot of discussion on him getting out of the car. The threat has now gone, and your intent is yet to still go ahead and pursue this vehicle.
So for you all, a dividing line was when he initially fired into the car, thinking that there was a weapon. That's one thing. But when the car pulled away and he kept shooting,
yes,
you all thought, everyone thought he crossed a line there.
Yes, and that's the exact words we used.
For a lot of folk in America, they would say, white man shoots and kills a 17-year-old black boy. How could it not be about race on some level?
Sitting in that room, it was never presented that way. We looked at it as a bad situation where teenagers were together and words were spoken and lines were crossed.
The jury was made up of 8 whites, 2 blacks, a Hispanic, and an Asian.
Jordan Davis's parents will likely watch this interview. What would you say to them?
I would say I am sorry, of course. Nothing will bring back their son. I hope that they feel that we didn't do them a disservice.
Michael Dunn could well spend the rest of his life in prison. Jordan Davis's parents will have a lifetime to grieve. As for Valerie and the other jurors, life resumes, though never quite the same.
You think Michael Dunn had options?
Oh, yes, sir.
What were his options, you think?
Roll your window up. Ignore the taunting. Put your car in reverse. Back up to the front of the store. Move a parking spot over. That's my feeling.
For Nightline, I'm Byron
Thank
Pitts
you.
in Jacksonville, Florida.
The prosecutor, Angela Corey, has announced that Michael Dunn will be retried on the first-degree murder charge. And make sure to catch Good Morning America tomorrow. Jordan Davis's parents are talking to ABC's Robin Roberts in their first interview since the verdict.